ahead, just do it. I don't think so.
Okay.
So far, I haven't killed anybody yet. Or they hadn't killed me.
I know. I feel like every day CPS isn't calling on me. I'm winning as a parent.
That's right. Nah, I think they're talkative, but year two students are going to do that. I think I'm going to have some good ones.
So what's their age? What's year two mean?
11th and 12th grade. So they come in year one as a junior and then come back as year two.
Then that's all there is then.
Well, yeah. Career Center mostly just does 11th and 12th now, like Chinese and a couple other the foreign language. We're going to go.
All right.
Oh, me? Oh, absolutely.
All right. Everybody ready? Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're in closed session. Earlier, there was unanimous vote to come out of closed session. There was no action taken during that time. We are reconvening our regular meeting, and there it is. And thank you very much for being here this evening. Even though we televise these things now, I'm really happy to see people in the audience. Appreciate you being here. If you will, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We have no one signed up for public comments this evening. Next up on the agenda is the minutes from previous meeting. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's unanimous. As far as the changes and/or approval to the agenda this evening, it sounds like item B4, that will be Mr. Buffkin, do you want that to come off the agenda, or would you like it to be moved to next session?
Let's pull it off at this point. We're still in some discussion with an additional company that may be able to perform that for us a little less expensively than what we've been proposed thus far. So I'm not sure exactly what the time frame will be for getting that paperwork, but it will be, we will need to bring it to you at a soon future meeting, but just not certain if it will be 2 weeks from now.
And item 9B5, I spoke to Mr. Buffkin before the meeting. If it's all right, I would ask that it be moved to next council session. I think we'll be ready for prime time at that time, but this is in response to several requests to review some ordinances, so if that's okay.
Certainly.
With council, when they vote on this, that would be the request on that agenda item.
And I have one addition, if I may, a new item B4 then for campaign sign discussion.
So new item B4, campaign sign discussion. All right, and was there any other additions or deletions to the agenda this evening?
I believe that's all, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. If those amendments sound good, a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion to approve as, the agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's unanimous. Next up, we have announcements for this evening. I presume it would be Mr. Buffkin?
Yes, just.
Or no, sorry, no. I
Yes, you-
was
I'm
li-
sorry, looking
I
at
was getting ahead
marketing,
of myself because Ms. Ford is not here. No, I can do the announcements. Sorry, I'm not meaning to add to your plate unnecessarily. All right, announcements this evening. The Village of Clemens will be closed for Labor Day on Monday, September 2nd, 2019. Trash pickup will be delayed 1 day. Pickups will be Tuesday through Saturday. And then comprehensive annual financial report employee recognition. Ms. Stroud, will you please come forward? So every year, a couple times a year, Ms. Stroud has to come and get in front of us. And I'm going to make this as long and embarrassing as I can this time. Because I really do feel like you do not get enough recognition. I know we do say thank you many times, like when we do the budget, when we got this award last year. But I think that as far as truly expressing how appreciative we all are, can we please all give Ms. Stroud a round of applause? Ms. Stroud makes our budget go round. And you have to understand, like, when we have a question about anything, no matter how obscure, she is on it. And it is really amazing how quickly you turn some of this stuff around. So once again, this year, this award is being given to the village, but in truth, it's being given to you. And we are very proud to give it to you, and it is really amazing to me whenever I walk down your hall, how many of these we have for the excellence in our accounting in the village. And listen, on behalf of the village, thank you very much. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I appreciate all of y'all because the council starts the process. I just help move it along. So y'all are really part of this too. So this council and all past councils. So.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. I don't feel like it's true, but that's very nice of you to say anyway. Here you go. Thank you very much. All right. Now, item 9. Now, Mr. Buffkin, since Ms. Ford is not here, I presume.
Thank you. I will try to fill in for Ms. Ford. Our two events are the same ones that were mentioned to you last meeting. That is 2 movie nights at the Jerry Long YMCA. That is Smallfoot on September 7th and the Lego Movie 2 on September 28th. So please encourage your friends and neighbors to join us for what's hopefully will be a dry evening this time. We've had a bit of an issue with a couple of those over the summer, so hopefully that won't be the issue again this time.
Starts at dusk.
Dusk, yeah. That time of year will probably be, what, 8:30 maybe?
No, they
By the end of
probably a little
September?
sooner than that.
I- That's all on announcements. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right. Thank you very
Main
much.
events.
You're still up on item 9B.
Gotcha. B1, the financial summary for July 2019 is in your packet. I will be happy to try to answer any questions, but with Ms. Stroud here with them, I would tend to defer those to her, especially if they're very hard. Hearing none, I'll proceed on to item number 2. The Sheriff's Office report for July 2019 is in your packet. Again, I'll try to answer any questions, or Sergeant Geiger is here as well. And I would like to pass along that following Mr. Waite's comment last meeting about having some different types of statistical information included, he passed that along to Ms. Higgins that compiles that report. Basically, she has invited any of us that would like to attend a meeting to come down to her office and sit with her, and if we can give some ideas on how we would like the documentation prepared or reported or anything like that. I think she's quite flexible on how that can be included, or if there's stuff in there now that you really don't need that's just getting in the way, we can pull some of that out. But I offer that out if any of you guys would like to be included in that conversation with her, or if you'd like to pass your thoughts on to either me or Sergeant Geiger, we'll try to represent those when we meet with Ms. Higgins.
My office is, if she's in the one on downtown there, if she's in that main office, then my office is directly across the street, so I'm flexible. I could pretty much make that meeting happen anytime, so, you know, maybe we could circulate some dates to council members, so they can do it. They can also attend.
Certainly, we'll do that. Any questions on the monthly report? Okay. Item number 3, Mr. Gunnell could not be with us this evening, but he did provide me an updated timeline on the 158 sidewalk project. I think I forwarded this email to you guys this afternoon. You may or may not have had a chance to see it. But briefly going through it, back to November 2018, Public Works, myself, met with all the utility contractors and our contractor that is handling utility relocations for the project. We requested schedules and construction drawings at that time. We actually received the last of those from the utilities on August the 7th of this year, so see, that took quite a period of time. On August 9th, we received final project construction drawings from the engineers. August 16, we received the revised exhibits for easements and right-of-way acquisition. Proposed looking forward, we believe we can have all right-of-way easements acquired by March 1 of 2020. Project out for bid by April 15th. Bids received by May 15th, and construction authorization approximately June 15th, 2020. I know that's quite a bit longer than any of us had hoped. It has taken seemingly every step of the way, has taken twice as long as we thought it would. But I want it stated for the record that staff is committed to seeing this project through to a successful completion, and just ask that council and the citizens bear with us and know that we're working as quickly as we can. And again, I'll be happy to answer any questions. I apologize for Mr. Gunnell not being able to be with us, but had an issue that couldn't be avoided.
Well, you know, given how long it took to get the engineering, I mean, it just seems to me that it's unfortunate, but I don't know what else, you know, staff on our end could have done. I mean, I appreciate you guys working on it as hard as you can.
Thank you. And unless there are any questions, that's all I have for the manager's report this evening.
Except for item, revised item 4, the campaign
The
sign discussion.
campaign, yes. Wanted to update council on an issue that I've just really learned has happened today. We've had at least one candidate for local office approach village staff with a question of when the timeline for placing campaign signs in the right-of-way was. I know at least one person was verbally told what has turned out to be an incorrect date, and apparently, based on that information that was conveyed to them, has placed some signs out, again, assume based on the information that person was provided. I'd like some direction from council if there's a thought that we could reach out to the other candidates and possibly make them aware that this has happened, and so that, you know, they could start doing the same, or if council would direct staff to enforce the ordinance that it's written and apologize to the person for any inconvenience. But I don't feel like that's a call that I can make on staff level without some involvement from council. I apologize. I'm sure that it happened, and not trying to run away from anything. I feel like I'm predestined to screw up this campaign issue in Clemens.
All right.
Well, I'll propose that we go with the guidance as established. I mean, it's, the worst that can happen is we have an electorate that's more informed than it otherwise would have been because signs have gotten out a little early. And if everybody has the same opportunity to get them out early, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I completely agree. Just letting that candidate know that there's not any issues, we'll allow it and let the other candidates know what happened and that they too can put out their signs. The only issue would be is what you had mentioned earlier, that DOT right-of-way, though they don't often enforce as strictly, could, but that in any village right-of-way, it will be overlooked or.
That's a good point, and I'm glad you brought that up. We can't waive the DOT's requirements, and they may or may not come around and enforce their rules on their right-of-ways. But so it would only apply to village right-of-way.
All right, so, I mean, that's two council members as far as, if I understand it correctly, at least Councilman Combest and Councilman Barson.
I
just-
agree.
Okay, so that's three. Mr. Binkley?
Yeah, I mean, if the person was told it was okay, then it's fine.
All right, well, then it's open sign season. I hope the public is ready.
We will reach out to all the candidates tomorrow morning to give that same information to all. Thank you.
All right. And also, I think, just as a reminder, when I went to file reelection paperwork, they had our old policy in the packet. And I told Kim at the, I can't remember her, what's her last name? It's almost there. But anyway, I told her that we had actually changed, the council had recently changed, our ordinance and policy on that. And then now it's just governed by, statute pretty much. So I don't know if we need a reminder on that or not, but,
I'll reach out to her to make sure she has the most current information. Thank you. Will do.
Okay.
You may just want to clarify that it's just the timing issue of the ordinance that's not being strictly enforced this year.
That's probably a good, is council okay with that? Mr. Combest? Sure. Okay. All right, so there you go. Okay.
Sincere thank you for your understanding.
All right. Thank you very much. That brings us to Mr. Casper.
All right. Last meeting I was at, I told you I was going to be attending the North Carolina Association of Municipal Attorneys Summer Conference. And that was from August 1st through 3rd. And I went. We had 6 hours of class training. It was an update on what the legislature's done, the case law update, and then some best practices for dealing with citizens and members of the media for municipal attorneys. So probably not the most exciting conference that you guys would have liked, but I felt it was pretty good conference for me at least. So.
Thank you. All right. I take it that's the end of your report.
I said nothing else to report, so.
Okay,
that's-
all right.
I'd say that's probably a good thing.
All right, sounds good. Next up, we have the planner's report, but per my discussion with Mr. Heemsda, I'll go ahead and kick that one off, if that's all right.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, last week, Mr. Buffkin and Mr. Heemsda and I met with Louisville Mayor Mike Horn and his manager Hank. What's Hank's last name?
Perkins,
Perkins, and then their planner's name is
Stacy,
Stacy, their planner. In any event, we had a joint meeting, and we talked about a couple things. One of the things being that the area that we would call Blanket Bottom, which council, talked about this past spring as part of things you were going to look at this year. We had a meeting with them and talked about the potential benefit of doing a joint plan for that area. And we took and showed them, how we already have that particular area zoned and outlined in our comprehensive plan. We have a map that shows that. We showed that to them. I think pretty much as far as what our joint vision is for that area, it seems like it's pretty close. So, I don't know, they don't have a similar plan or map or anything like that in their comprehensive plan, at least not that I'm aware of. So, one of the things that I proposed to them was that I'll come back and report to you guys, about that potential and see if there was any interest from council in giving direction to staff to at least explore it. And furthermore, not just doing a joint plan between us and them, but also bringing the county in at that level and having them be part of the discussion. And, if we can do something where everybody's on the same page and on, the same board, we thought there'd be a lot of benefit and it would actually prevent a lot of maybe potential issues down the road, especially with respect to getting the county involved at this stage because, right now it's unincorporated and they're the ones who call the shots out there. But if we can, do something like this at the staff level and then get hopefully consideration and consensus on it between these different bodies, it could be a very effective way to make sure that that area has, orderly growth, which is not at all clear whether it does right now or not. So that's what this particular agenda item is for. I don't know, do either of you have anything to add as far as, the direction you guys were looking for out of that meeting?
I think really just to notify council that we're progressing towards what was identified as a goal at the retreat, and to make sure that council feels that we're moving in the right direction on that, towards that goal. But other than that, I think you summarized the purpose and tone of the meeting quite well.
And just to be clear, this was at the invitation of Mayor Horn for me to come meet with him and have these sorts of discussions just with the purpose of, fact-finding for council. And when he brought it up, and it made sense to me to at least go and hear what, idea they had and bring it back to you guys, especially since it was an item that was on the retreat earlier this year. So that's it. I don't know if we need like a motion, I think probably just council consensus would be fine.
I
for
would
step
think so
through
at
that,
this
I would think.
point, just to, that everyone know where we're at and make sure you guys feel like we're heading the right direction.
And if council, if council wants to take time to think about it, you can. It's just on for the first time this evening. If council's comfortable with giving staff that direction, then that's fine also. So that's pretty much it.
I'd say no hesitation, keep moving forward. This is terrific.
I mean, it's a great idea. I mean, you're talking about a piece of land that's kind of ripe for development now, that sewer's through there, and that sliver of land runs right in between Louisville and Clemens boundaries, so we can work together on planning that for the future. It's a win-win for both municipalities.
And I would think a win for the county eventually also, I think. We're not trying to this is this is something where I really think it's an opportunity to, build an effective relationship with respect to this particular area, with the county and with our neighbor to the north, so,
Well, any serious water problems would affect both of us.
sure.
So I think we both have a serious concern with what happens in that area, so.
All right. Well, I saw unanimous direction there, so if you need anything else,
Yeah, continue going.
all right, sounds good. That brings us up to item 9E.
The budget amendment for the MPO bike and ped grant that we discussed last time is included in your packet. I think we're all, or at least I'm assuming we're all on the same page, just need to execute the budget amendment to actually verify our portion of the funds, the 10,000, theirs being 40 for the total project of 50,000.
All right.
I guess on the back page of your agenda packet.
Yeah, if you turn the packet over, it's right there. Is there a motion to approve the budget amendment?
I move that we approve budget amendment 20-G-2.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, it's unanimous. And then finally, we have item 9F. Mr. Combest.
I move that this council authorize and direct the mayor and manager to execute the agency agreements with Meridian Realty.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we'll do Ms. Laughlin as a second there. All right, and just for clarification, council's had the opportunity to review these agreements ahead of time, so, I think they're all well informed about what it is. So motion in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's unanimous. Next up, we have item 9G. One comment this evening, I did want to give an update on this ordinance discussion. Ms. Laughlin brought up a couple ordinances. Over the past couple months, there's been a couple different ordinances that people have come and talked to us about, concerns about. We've identified a couple main areas for discussion. To me, I think it's imperative, council's already given me direction to work on these, which I'm working with Mr. Buffkin on going through that. But also, I think it's imperative that, it get through our attorney before it gets in front of council. So, when I anticipate that it'll be ready for prime time next meeting, which is, why I asked that it be moved to next council meeting. But I did want to make sure that that was done before, got before you guys. So that's my comments this evening. Any other council comments?
I would like to say thank you to everyone for coming, and for anyone watching or any of you that had to or felt you had to pick up garbage after the football game the other day that people left. We are discussing it and we are working on it. So hopefully that won't happen anymore.
This is the second year in a row we've had the garbage complaints at Clemens Elementary. Okay.
Did you all see the email I forwarded from the Broncos?
Yes.
Patterson, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Okay, any other council comments? All right, if not, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's unanimous, we're adjourned. Thank you all.